marketplace. Our objectives for this section are to explain why the world has become a global economy and explain why people and countries specialize in producing goods and services. The global economy is the interconnected economies of the nations of the world. We live in a global economy fueled by the international trade. International trade involves the exchange of goods and services between nations. The development of the global economy is often referred to as globalization. A multinational corporation is a company that does businesses in many countries and has facilities and offices around the world, such as Samsung and Sony. International trade. The word trade has several meanings. It can be a specific area of business or industry, such as the book trade. It can refer to a skilled occupation, such as auto mechanics. It can also refer to the people who work in a specific area of business or industry, such as construction workers. This chapter is going to look at trades as the activity of buying and selling goods and services in domestic or international markets. Trading goods and services allows countries to meet their individual wants and needs as well as to help their own economy. So the types of trade we have. Domestic trade is the production, purchase, and sale of goods and services within a country, so no leaving the borders. World trade is the exchange of goods and services across international boundaries. In many cases, a country cannot produce a desired good because it does not have a suitable climate or the necessary raw materials. In other cases, businesses in one country may produce better products or services at cheaper prices than businesses in other countries. As a result, world trade takes place. Since the 1990s, world trade has increased considerably. The 1970s. Better transportation and telecommunications, along with a decrease in trade barriers, enables more world trade. These changes also help many countries' economies grow, which we call developing economies. The United States buys pepper from India, bananas from Honduras, coffee from Colombia, and automobiles from Japan. These products are called imports. Imports are goods and services that one country buys from another country. The United States also sells wheat and airplanes to countries such as Australia and Russia. These products are called exports. Exports are goods and services that one country sells to another country. Countries can also invest in other nations by opening businesses there. They import and export the services of professionals such as doctors and engineers. One country's exports are another country's imports. Let's talk about the balance of trade. When a country exports more than it imports, it has a trade surplus. And when a country imports more than it exports, it has a trade deficit. A balance of trade is the difference in value between a country's imports and exports over a period of time. A country can have a trade deficit with one country and a trade surplus with another. For instance, the United States has a favorable balance with Australia. That means it takes in more money from sales to Australia than Australia takes in from sales to the United States. The United States has an unfavorable balance with France, which means that the United States takes in less money from sales to France than France takes in from sales to the United States. I blame the cheese, because the cheese in France is so good. Specialization. To specialize means to focus on a particular activity, area, or product. Specialization builds and sustains a market economy. Countries specialize in producing certain goods and services. Many take advantage of their specialties by trading them with other countries in the global marketplace. Similarly, individuals specialize by concentrating their activities in a particular area or field, such as carpentry, medicine, or office administration. Each worker's income buys goods and services that others have specialized in producing. Countries also specialize and trade some of the items they produce in order to obtain other countries' goods and services. For example, the United States, Japan, and Germany are the world's top automobile producers. Sorry, the textbook did not include Korea. They have the technology, factories, and labor forces needed to produce lots of vehicles. Therefore, these countries have a comparative advantage in producing vehicles. A comparative advantage is the ability of one country or company to produce a particular good more efficiently than another country or company. Money gained from auto sales to other countries is then used to buy items that other countries produce. This also helps to improve the standard of living for each country. Currency has to deal with how countries pay for products and services. It's another name for money. Such as different countries use different languages, they also use different currencies. Mexico uses pesos, Japan uses yen, India uses rupees, the United States uses US dollars, Korea uses won. Some countries use the same name for their currency, so the United States, Canada, and Australia all call their currencies dollars. So oftentimes you see US in front of the dollar sign to distinguish it from the Canadian dollar and the Australian dollar. To trade with another country, businesses and countries must convert their money into the nation's currency. To do that, their currency is exchanged on the foreign exchange market. The foreign exchange market is mostly made up of banks where different currencies are exchanged. Each country's currency has a value that is different from the other countries. The price at one currency can be exchanged for another currency is called the exchange rate. So for example, about 1,000 Korean won is equivalent to about $1 US. Exchange rates change from day to day and from country to country. The amount a country's currency is worth depends on a number of other countries that are willing to buy its products. Prices. Companies follow the change in exchange rates to find the best prices for products. When the value of a country's currency goes up compared to another country's, it appreciates, which means it goes up in value. A country with an appreciated exchange rate can buy more of the other country's products. When it goes down, the currency depreciates or goes down in value. For example, if the US dollar goes up compared to the euro, it will take fewer dollars to buy French cheese or Italian furniture. It also means US goods will cost more because it will take more euros to buy them.